Hello and welcome to YNWA Transfer News, your ultimate source for all Liverpool FC transfer news. Our first news is this.
Liverpool bid for 1st January signing. €28.5 million offer made for top Premier League star. Liverpool have made a bid for Crystal Palace centre-back Mark Guehi, according to a report. The England international defender, whose contract expires at the end of the season, was subject to interest from the Anfield club in the summer transfer window, only for Crystal Palace to reject the deal on deadline day, just as it seemed it would get over the line. Now Liverpool are ready to test the resolve of the Selhurst Park outfit once more and have made a bid worth €28.5 million, £25 million ahead of the transfer window opening in January. According to YNWA, we understand Liverpool have submitted a bid for Mark Guehi, it reports on X. We understand the bid is around £25 million with add-ons. The bid has not been accepted or rejected. The Reds had previously offered Palace €40 million in the summer for the 25-year-old, who will not sign a new deal with Palace. Manchester United are also linked with an interest in the player. Liverpool increasingly desperate for Guehi. Liverpool's need for a centre-back has grown increasingly since their summer efforts to sign Guehi failed. A serious injury to summer signing Giovanni Loni has likely ended the season of the young Italian defender, who was snapped up from Parma for €31 million, while Arne Slot's side have struggled at the back all season, as they have lost 7 of their last 8 Premier League outings. The ongoing uncertainty over the future of Ibrahima Konate, who is out of contract at the end of the season and linked with a move as a free agent to Real Madrid next summer, has not helped, while Virgil van Dijk has looked far from his best. Will Palace accept this offer? Although Guehi is out of contract at the end of the season and liable to leave for nothing, Palace will not be in a hurry to sell the mainstay of their defense. With 20 points through 12 Premier League matches, Oliver Glasner has his side in contention to reach the Champions League next season. Central to their efforts has been a defense that has only given up 9 goals, with Guehi the key figure. Palace conducted a cost-benefit analysis of the situation before rejecting Liverpool's summer bid, and they are likely to come up with a similar answer to this latest offer from the Anfield club. Arne Slot's Liverpool future, growing crisis, job security, potential successors. It's fair to say the 2025-26 season is not going well for Liverpool. The Reds came into the campaign as the favourites to win the Premier League title following their success last season and summer investment, spending around $600 million on fresh talent. Yet the season isn't going well for Arne Slot and his players, who have lost 6 of their last 7 Premier League games to slip out of title contention. More pressure was heaped onto Slot on Saturday following Liverpool's shock 3-0 home defeat to Nottingham Forest, a team that started the weekend in the Premier League's relegation zone. Here's everything we know about Slot's future at Anfield. Growing crisis. Liverpool's campaign has reached a troubling nadir after the embarrassing home defeat to Forest, plunging the club into crisis. Slot has declined to offer excuses for the woeful display, explicitly acknowledging that he bears full responsibility for the side's struggles. Despite mounting pressure, he remains resolute, maintaining that the squad possesses the quality to discover a way out of this downturn. Commentary from pundits, including former midfielder Danny Murphy, indicates that Slot must now make huge decisions to salvage his position, which could include benching underperforming senior players. The prevailing view is that the boss needs to revitalize a complacent squad that is struggling to match the intensity of its previous title-winning season. Among these pundits is Wayne Rooney, who believes that Slot must drop Mohamed Salah in order to get his team back on form. He thinks that the forward is not helping them defensively, and they would improve if Slot changes his starting lineup. The loss to Forest revealed serious problems on the pitch, as Liverpool controlled the first half-hour before falling apart following the opening goal. Slot acknowledged his in-game tactical changes didn't work, with the side struggling to fashion genuine opportunities or unlock the opposition defense. Job security. Views on Slot's position remain split, with pundits like Martin Keown suggesting it would be unthinkable to dismiss him shortly after securing the title. Conversely, others, including former Premier League defender Ashley Williams, are now publicly questioning whether the Dutchman possesses the ability to turn things around as the team's form continues to deteriorate. Potential successors. The uncertainty has sparked frenzied speculation in betting circles, with odds plummeting dramatically on former boss Jurgen Klopp staging a remarkable return to Anfield. This sentiment-fueled narrative has made Klopp the surprise bookmakers' favorite to succeed his replacement, although a comeback to Anfield remains highly improbable. Apart from Klopp, betting markets have highlighted other potential successors currently in charge at rival Premier League sides. Odds have shortened considerably for Unai Emery and Andoni Iraola, indicating they're considered the leading alternatives should the Anfield hot seat become available. Liverpool watching hottest prospect in Real Madrid academy. Liverpool are always on the lookout for the best young talents around. We've seen the likes of YNWA and Trainioni graduate to the first-team squad in recent seasons, providing evidence for a clear pathway from the Reds' youth and academy ranks to the seniors. If there is an opportunity to bring in an outstanding prospect, then the club won't hesitate to do so. And one name currently on the radar appears to be João Martinez. João Martinez wanted by top European clubs. The elegant 18-year-old defender has been on the books of Real Madrid since 2023 and is currently awaiting his first-team breakthrough. Martinez is regarded as the pearl of the Real Madrid academy right now, and it's only a matter of time before he embarks on a career at the highest level. Liverpool, along with Borussia Dortmund, Juventus and other Premier League clubs, are all reported to be interested in Martinez according to a new report in Marca. Liverpool intended to watch Martinez up close, and when Real Madrid's UEFA Youth League squad visited Liverpool for their match earlier this month, it was expected that Liverpool recruitment staff and directors would take the opportunity to witness Martinez in the flesh. But those plans went awry when he was dropped from the traveling party, having played for Real Madrid Castilla the previous weekend. Liverpool were left disappointed not to catch a glimpse of a potential target, but it's certain that Reds analysts and scouts will have had their work done. João Martinez has got €150 million buyout clause. Martinez has recovered from a serious ACL injury suffered last year and put pen to paper on his first professional deal when he turned 18. It's been reported that Madrid are protected by a €150 million buyout in his current contract, and it remains to be seen whether any other club can tempt him away from the Spanish capital. Liverpool's centre-back department is due a shake-up in the next couple of seasons. Ibrahima Konate is attracting attention from Real Madrid, Bayern Munich and Paris Saint-Germain ahead of his summer 2026 contract expiry. And don't forget Virgil van Dijk and Joe Gomez either, with Liverpool's vastly experienced central defenders due to leave when their contracts expire in 2027. Liverpool FC team news versus PSV injuries, suspensions and available squad. Joanna Durkin. Liverpool will face PSV in the Champions League without several senior players, but, thankfully, have no new issues to report from the weekend. Some will welcome the quick turnaround between games, others not so much considering Liverpool's form, but the schedule stops for no one. With games coming in quick succession, it means those in the treatment room face missing several matches, and here is who is not available for Wednesday's game. Calvin Ramsey, ineligible. Conor Bradley, muscle, and available. Florian Wirtz, muscle, and available. Jeremy Frimpong, hamstring, unavailable. Giovanni Leoni, ankle, and available. Stefan Bicetic, hamstring, unavailable. Jadon Dan's hamstring, unavailable. Wirtz, who returned from international break with a muscle injury, did not partake in training on Tuesday afternoon and remains sidelined. Bradley and Frimpong's absence continues with a return only expected later in December, ensuring the right-back ranks remain depleted. This is then compounded by Ramsey being ineligible to feature in the competition, having not been registered for the senior squad, as he was for the Premier League. Leoni, Bicetic and Dans all remain in the treatment room, with the latter duo yet to return to senior training after serious hamstring injuries. Trainioni, meanwhile, is available for senior selection but will be expected to lead the club's under-19s in their UEFA Youth League fixture earlier in the day. The only good thing to emerge from the weekend's events was that no new fitness issues arose, meaning Slot has all but the same squad to select from. Joe Gomez, Andy Robertson and Hugo Ekitike are the likeliest inclusions to the starting lineup, meaning Milos Kerkez, Curtis Jones and Alexander Isak would drop to the bench. However, Slot revealed on the eve of the match that Gomez required a pain-killing injection for a knee injury last week, which meant he was not in starting contention against Forest. Arne Slot already has template he needs, with best hope of Liverpool fix clear. Throughout the final months of Arne Slot's debut campaign at Liverpool, he mentioned PSG several times. He clearly admired the way that Luis Enrique's team played and, of course, It knocked the Reds out of Europe in March much more emphatically than the scoreline showed, with its explosive attackers, technical midfield and flying fullbacks. The comparisons to Liverpool, especially after the likes of Alexander Isak, Florian Wirtz, Milos Kerkez and Jeremy Frimpong arrived during the summer, are obvious. Slot isn't simply trying to copy the team that went on to win the Champions League, but there are definite parallels. In the Premier League, where, led by Arsenal, pretty much everyone has gone for a more physical, set-piece heavy approach, Liverpool has gone against the grain in youth's top competition. As a result, it should be no surprise that it is seeing more success. While Liverpool has lost 6 games in the Premier League already this season, it sits in a good position in Europe. It has already beaten Atletico Madrid, Eintracht Frankfurt and Real Madrid. Without question, the most convincing performances of the season have tended to come outside of the Premier League, the robust win over Arsenal aside perhaps, and it is there where Liverpool has looked most comfortable. There too lies a comparison to PSG last year. It struggled until Christmas but then clicked into gear in the months that mattered most, helped in part by the January arrival of Kvaratskhelia domestically. Liverpool doesn't have such an easy task as the League One champion when it comes to getting back into title contention, and it is extremely unlikely to close the gap to Arsenal even if it goes on a lengthy winning run. But it will be hoping to replicate PSG's continental success. It is, after all, much better equipped to win games against teams that try to play it at its own game, with the long throws and relentless dead balls of the Premier League yet to translate to the European ties. Right now, any team that goes for power over technique against Liverpool has the capacity to knock the Reds out of their stride. On its day, though, Slot's men can turn up and put on a show, as they proved against Real Madrid. It was in that game that Wirtz looked best. There was more space for Hugo Ekitike to run and press, and the likes of Ibrahima Konate looked much more focused on the big occasion. Isak was injured at that point but would be likelier to excel there than in a rough and tumble scrap for possession. With 9 points from 4 games and PSV coming to Anfield this week, Liverpool is already well placed in the 36-team group phase, and can further strengthen that position by chalking up another win. And as PSG proved last season, it is only really in the knockout phase that it really starts to matter in the Champions League, at which point anyone can get a bit of luck with some favorable draws. Unless its Premier League troubles migrate into Europe, Liverpool won't be finishing 15th in the Swiss system, as the eventual winner of last year's tournament did, with a bit of good fortune and a similar progression throughout the coming months as PSG showed is possible last year. It looks considerably better suited to going far in Europe than in the Premier League. Michael Owen has never been more wrong after what he's just said about Liverpool. Michael Owen has had some strong opinions lately due to Liverpool's terrible run of form. Nobody can quite believe just how badly the Reds have fallen off this season, which is a huge juxtaposition compared to this time last year. They have lost 8 of their last 11 games, conceded 20 goals in the league already and find themselves in the bottom half of the table, below both Everton and Man United. This has got the whole footballing community talking, with there being some very strong opinions being thrown about. Former Red Owen is one of those who has had his say on Liverpool's predicament, but he could not be more wrong. Michael Owen believes Liverpool's performances have not been that bad. When the Reds were winning games at the start of the season, they required last-minute goals to get them over the line, but since they have dried up, they have found themselves on the losing side more often than not, with their run of form simply disastrous. However, Owen still believes that Liverpool can still win the league, even if it is a long shot, because they have shown some strong performances this season. It's likely they'll miss out, but I still think it's within reach. I mean, they played really poorly against Manchester City, but they have put in performances this season that took your breath away, he said on the Many Talks podcast. That performance against Real Madrid, I know it was only 1-0, but it could have been 4-0. I mean, they were absolutely brilliant. For a half against Villa, they were brilliant. They beat Arsenal at Anfield. They're not playing badly consistently. I look at the teams that they got beat against. They got beat against Manchester United, but Liverpool were the best team. They got beat against Chelsea. It was in the last kick of the game. It could have gone either way. It was a great game. They played well. They got beat against Man City at the Etihad. It's not like they're getting beaten by mugs all the time. Michael Owen is so wrong about Liverpool's form. What Owen said might have been applicable towards the start of the season. But losing 8 of their last 11 shows that performances are mostly not good enough. As well as this. Although he said they have been unlucky in a lot of games, their last 2, which were 3-0 defeats to Man City and Nottingham Forest, were the worst of the lot, showing how things are only getting worse. They are now being played off the park and not competing whatsoever. So how he thinks the Reds can still win the league is anyone's guess, with their fixtures getting slightly easier on paper. This will be the big test for Arne and Liverpool, but based on recent performances, they will be lucky to get a win in any of them.
Thank you for watching. Like and comment, subscribe.